G'day viewers, welcome to this week's PB's Retro Restorations. I'm PB and this week it's another restoration and custom double build, but this week it's the number 57 Ford Wildlife truck. So I've got a few of these in the die-cast bin of death that lurks under my bench in the shed, so I'm going to do a straight resto of one and a custom of the other. Now I've got one of these in that big box of die-cast. I know Renee gave me one. There might have been a couple in that box, I don't know.
Okay, so the Wildlife truck, was one of its last variations. Started out as the red Ford pickup truck with the white canopy. I don't have one of those, if you can believe it. I do have its next iteration, the kennel truck, which was the same. Regular wheel version here, missing the 4 dogs and the canopy, which is the same as the Wildlife truck. The canopy is anyway. Another difference is the grill piece on these is a separate plastic piece, and this one's pretty busted up. I've got another one of these to show you, the Superfast version with the slightly different paint scheme, a bit more Spectra Flame-ish, if you will. It's completely missing it. Looks like it's got Irish. Hello! My man Michael at Gravesend Australia's Diecast, go and give him a visit, has kindly, made me some resin copies of these, so it's not the death knell for these two. I'm not sure. Busted windscreen. I'm not sure I'm going to drop 19 bucks on the dogs, but anyway. 1980-81 catalogue. I'm sure this isn't the first appearance for it, but here it is. Number 57 Wildlife truck. I think this was the last time it came in this colour. It always had the earlier type wheels on it because it's a roll-o-matic with the lugs to make the line go round and round and round and round the back, which is pretty cool. Now, in 1981-82, I believe this was the last variation of it before it got turned into a 4-wheel drop. It continued on after this, but I don't have any of those. You'll note it's still got those, it's like earlier Superfast wheels, but it's got this leopard print. It's still got the yellow disc. I don't know if they actually changed that for production models. Anyway, this one's the hardest one to find, I believe, of the Wildlife trucks. I've got that many of them, I might just have to do a reproduction of that. How hard could it be? Anyway, a little bit of history on it.
Alright, so now we've got all that waffle and history out of the way. Let's get crack-a-lackin', as I am now required to say every video, lest you be bitterly disappointed with me, and see what we can't do with these two. Actually, the front post on this car is really long. It would put a fight up. And even after I'd cleared the post, it still didn't want to come off. But I got it off in the end. So no interior and this stupid red glass. I know it's a kid's toy and all that stuff, but that'll be alright for the resto. But the custom, I'm going to have to try something else. I haven't developed a technique of vacuum forming clear ones like Andrew at Maple Leaf's done. I should do though. I'll get there. So this will give long-term viewers an idea of how long I've been working on these two trucks. Yes, that is the green RX-7 that I finished months ago. Ashton, yes, that is your Formula 1 car in there getting its paint stripped. I've been working on that one too. I will get to them, I promise. Then I got my file and I tried taking some of the casting lines out. I didn't go too crazy. This is for the custom, obviously. Now I'm hacksawing the little tab that holds the canopy off of the custom, and then I'll file it down to make it a little bit smoother. So here's a little tonneau cover. It's just made out of evergreen sheet styrene, and I'm going to round the edges off to make it look a little bit more like a tonneau cover. Now I'm robbing the reel riders from this Hot Wheels Ford. I'm not sure what model truck it is, but it's a Ford truck, so it's appropriate that it's loaning its wheels to a vintage Ford truck, even if it is a different manufacturer. And now test fit. They're a bit tight under the guards, and I had to modify the base a little bit, but I got them to fit in the end. It doesn't roll particularly well, but I can live with that. So I tried to use the Superfast chassis, but I did end up having to use brass tubing and cutting the axles of the Hot Wheels wheels to make it fit. So a white base coat, and then I'm using the SMS Pearl Blue, the same combination of colours I used on the Chevelle kit build, and I really liked how it came out. Took a few coats to build it up. It's a pretty thin paint, but it's lovely paint. It sprays on so nice. And a bit of Molotow Chrome for the custom base, just to give it that proper shine. Some more test fitting, although it's too late now, just to make sure it's all going according to plan before I glue it all down. Now, I know I banged on about my friend Andrew in the last video for his inspiration for the Dodge Challenger, but now I've got to give him an even bigger shout out for sending me the file for the decals for this truck. He built one and he sent me the file. And with Mrs. PB's help, I got them onto the computer and printed them out, and they worked really good. They're perfect, Andrew. Thank you very much. And thanks, Mrs. PB. So as you can see, because I printed it out on clear decal paper, the white areas of the elephant were transparent and the yellow comes through. So I used my technique again of putting one decal on, getting my white Posca pen and colouring in the elephant, and then laying another decal over the top to put the details back into it, as you can see. Now a little bit of blackwash in the grill just to bring out the details. This bottle of blackwash, I've had it for years. I think it's going to last me it'll outlast me, I suspect. So after Posca penning the tail lights and everything, I masked it off. I squeezed a little bit of the Molotow out in my painting tray. I'm hand brushing the rear bumper on. What do you think of those sound effects? Pretty weak, weren't they? Anyway, here's all the parts for the resto. You can see I lashed out and bought a reproduction line and a reproduction canopy. Everything else is original of this car and has been refurbished by moi. So getting the front axle back onto this thing proved to be more challenging than it should have been. It was probably because I'd had several cans, or I don't think I'd had several cans, but then that's the problem, isn't it? We've had several cans, you can never remember that you've had several cans. But anyway, after much fighting and fiddle-fooping and fanoodling, I did get it back in. Shouldn't have been that hard though. Who bloody Ray? I finally got the mongrel thing back in. We can continue with the rest of the assembly. So I went to hook the canopy on and noticed it had a little bit of flash on it, which isn't too bad considering some of the flash you get on some reproduction parts. Other than that, it's a really nice piece, which I got from Recover Toy, as I did with the little line, and they're both reasonably priced too. I think the canopy was $8, the line was $7. Yeah, would have looked a bit stupid without them. So I'm going to look like Paul Restorer here. I lashed right out while I was ordering those parts from Recover Toy, and I got one of their reproduction boxes as well. I've got reproduction boxes from them in the past and they've been okay, but I have to say the resolution of the artwork on the box of this one left a little bit to be desired, but they're not terribly expensive, and you can always tell when it's a repro box, and it looks the part on my shelf. I can't complain much. So I decided I wanted some old school looking white. Wanted to paint the rims white. So I clipped them on and I painted them white. Okay, so for the custom I decided I'd get some Tamiya clear smoke grey used for tinting like clear glass. And I thought I'll just spray that all over the red. It won't get rid of the red, but it'll knock it down a shade, make it look a little bit more human. I think it worked out pretty good. Now, after I sprayed those rims white, I'm just going to put a little chrome ring around them with my Molotow pen. Alright, now with all that pushed together, we're done. So here we are back at the start with a pair of number 57 wildlife trucks. Not completely trashed, they're pretty good actually, but as always, missing the removable canopy and missing that little line. I know I lost mine within about 2 seconds of having it new. But anyway, thankfully we live in an age we can get reproductions. If I could 3D print, I could probably just print my own, but anyway, that's a subject for another time. Anyway, this is what we started with, and this is what we're left with now. Ta-da! Looking $1 million now with its replacement parts, a little line back in there again, and I'm pretty pleased with the custom as well. It's not a massively wild custom, it's just a tonneau cover to cover up the gaping hole where the line should have gone. But I think the white rims look really good with the blue. I'm really pleased with it. Now, none of the wheels I had still had the lugs on them, so the line doesn't spin around. I failed there, but if I pull one of the other ones apart and find it's got the little lugs for spinning them around, I might have a go at pulling it apart and replacing them. But I say that, I can promise you I'll probably never do it. So this Wednesday just gone was Mrs. PB and I'd 20th wedding anniversary, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody who sent us messages of kindness and congratulations on social media. We really appreciate it. I appreciate it. Mrs. PB appreciates it. She told me to tell you all that. So thank you very much, everybody. Now, if you've liked this video and think you might like some more PB action, just try one of these links that have appeared on your screen. If you really liked it and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. Click on my bald nut there in the middle of your screen, and you too can be swept away to a world of PB magic. Every fortnight guaranteed. I'm trying to get back onto every Friday. Bear with me, viewers. Thank you very much for the ongoing support, and I will see you at the next one. Bye!